Hey guys, how's everybody been? Let me know if you guys can put like a one or something, just something in chat so I know you can hear me. It's the first time using this new webinar system, so I want to make sure we were having some technical difficulties. So I know there was a delay, so if you guys can hear me, give me something. Can see and hear you. Perfect, perfect, awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ed's working on getting in. He's on his way. So speak of the devil, there he is. Still can't hear you, brother. He's got all this fancy equipment. Look at him. So now we can make fun of Ed because he can hear me, but I can't hear him, so he can't make fun of me. Get some of that. Perfect, perfect. So basically today we're just going to kind of be going over what's the new path forward, what we're planning, what we got going on, where we've been, what we've been working on, kind of some of the plans that we got working on and stuff like that, and then just answer any questions if you guys have Q&A.
How
You can
about
go ahead.
now?
Yeah, I hear you now. Can you hear me?
So it doesn't like the big mic. I don't know what to tell you. It likes the small headphone mic. So
Do you have it plugged in?
I have them both plugged in. Yeah.
Oh, see. Yeah.
Troubleshooting 101, right? I see.
Yep.
I see. You found your sunglasses. Yeah.
I found these.
Let's see them, Rob.
Ed wanted me to wear sunglasses.
I
What do you think
mean,
about that?
we have a theme. We got to stay on the
That's all I
theme.
got. These aren't even actually sunglasses, bro. These are safety glasses from work that I wear when I'm
Oh, from the
weed eating.
lab.
Yeah, these are from weed eating too, so they're all scratched up. So it's hard for me to even see through them because they've been hit with rocks and stuff. So
I mean, I love that. I think that's great.
plus I'm blind. There we go. Well, I'm not blind. I'm getting older, so I've got to use my reader so I can read the chat. Oh yeah, people are saying they
I
like them.
won't keep them on forever, because I don't want people to stare at sunglasses, but I just figure, we gotta
Keep
stay on theme.
Okay, good. So everybody can hear you also, so they can hear both of us. That's good.
Beautiful. Love to hear that. Let me just turn my volume up a little bit so I can hear you guys better. So yeah, I'm sure you already told them, but we're gonna do a little bit of housekeeping and introductions, and then open up to some Q&A, and we're happy to discuss all sorts of things because I think that there'll be quite a few questions. Hope there'll be quite a few questions. We don't know, right? But
yeah, could be.
Could be. You want to give it another minute as people are coming in here? Or
yeah, that'll work.
I'll give it another couple minutes here just so people can straggle in. Hope everybody's evening is going well.
You know what I need to work on? I need to work on see if I can pump some music in here. I'm sure there's a way I can, but
yeah, we got to pump that music and not get RIAA copyright sued, right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
We'll have to do royalty-free music, or let's actually just make some AI tracks, right? You could be a DJ too, Rob.
Actually, I've written some AI songs. That's what's funny.
I mean, you could have brought those out right now.
Yeah, well, they're not very good. Let's put it that way. I've just been playing with the AI, and I'm like, hey, write a song with it, like a one song prompt or one sentence prompt. But they're pretty good, to be honest with you, like Suno and all those. But I know there's some others that have really been messing with it. So.
All right, we'll wait another minute and then we'll get started. Just a couple more minutes here, folks. If there's something on your mind, or can you, if you're here now and you want to put in chat where you're coming in from around the world, we'd appreciate that.
That's always true. I never know where everybody's coming from.
Yeah, where is everybody from? New York here.
Yeah, I'm Indiana, Midwestern, born and bred. Corn fed, as they say, right?
No GMOs, though.
Right. Seattle, Washington State.
Awesome. Welcome,
It's
Michael.
early over there.
Hey, Toddy, how's it going?
What's that, like 3:30 over there then? Yeah. Looks like we're kind of everywhere. We got Pennsylvania, Maine, Washington, Seattle, Indiana. We're covering most of the states, at least so far.
Cool, cool. Maine is beautiful this time of year. Then it starts to get too cold, though.
Yeah.
All right, I'm booting up app, booting up. I got to boot up the members area, boot up the website, get this all ready here. Sorry, I had to restart a couple times, but you know how it is with tech. That you plan, you practice all week, and then it fails the second you want to get something started.
You can't hear my fan, can you?
I don't think so. I can't hear it.
Okay.
Can everyone else hear it?
Yeah, my fan's not too loud. Anybody, right? Just making sure. And just so you remember, Ed, there's about a 10-second delay, I think, from when we talk to when they actually hear us. So.
Yeah, so I got to give people a minute. I understand.
Yeah.
Slow it down. Let's see here.
Yeah, my trouble. I need to, when I go into speak mode, I need to go like the 0.75 speed because I tend to start talking fast. So, what's up, Jordan? So now we got Texas, Maine, Pennsylvania, Washington State, Seattle, Indiana, New York. We got a good covering of the country. From coast to coast, I guess, right? Maine to Washington.
Perfect. And I know we got a couple international folks, but they'll probably be asleep, right? Depending on the time zone.
Yeah. Especially being I didn't even send out a reminder of it until, I don't know, about 3 hours ago.
Yeah, that's all right. This is the first one. We're just getting started, but we'll get way better with the scheduled webinars. And then we'll do some spontaneous ones too. We'll make sure everybody signs up at the B.A.D Marketers Club. So let's see here. I'm just launching members area.
Yeah, and as a side note, guys, if any of you guys get a friend request from a Rob Beal Jr., that's me. Doesn't have a picture yet, but I'm rebooting everything, including my Facebook profile. So it's not a spam guy. I had a couple people ask me. They said, "It might help you put a picture up." I said, "Look, dude, I'm just getting started. Ease it out." So.
D's from Miami. I'm jealous. Gosh, I could go for some Miami weather real soon when the weather kicks in here up in New York. I might have to fly down there.
Yeah, they don't like us snowbirds coming down.
That's true. We jam up all the traffic, but we are the reason they have some good pizzerias in Florida. All the New Yorkers who've left this crazy state.
Yeah. Well, that, and they're kind of the reason they don't have an income tax, because we all come down there and have
that's true too. It's great for
state
business.
Sales tax to help us out.
Much friendlier to businesses. That's why my business is no longer in New York.
Yeah.
In Nevada. So, all right. Well, I think I have my links ready. We got quite a few people in here. I think we are ready to get going. So, first and foremost, thanks for showing up, everybody. We know it was maybe a little bit last minute. We'll get better at not being so spontaneous and catching you off guard. For those of you who are watching this recording, we will let you know that we'll send out regular webinar invites from this day forward. And then if we do anything quick and live, we'll hit the VIP list. And you guys can get a notice anytime we go live. I'm going to drop a URL in the chat. It's on our website as well. It's in the footer. But if you haven't already, you signed up to the webinar tonight. But if you're looking to get on the list to always be notified, we're going to be doing Monday nights right now for the foreseeable future. But again, we'll have other ones. So if you'll go to that link and just make sure you sign up, then we will continuously notify you when we're going live. That way you can get the most out of the community and the most out of Rob and I. So let me share screen here, turn screen on. All right, let me know if you guys can see that okay.
Yeah, I can. Chat, let me know. Give me a W or a 1 or just something in chat to let me know that you can see his screen as well. AI's wild, dude. That's too funny.
I think
Yep.
it did a pretty good job. It's pretty close to me, right?
Yeah. Let me see. Does that look like me? I guess it does when I had my hair cut shorter.
Yeah, you just need a haircut.
Yeah, I do. I get one every 6 months, whether I need it or not.
All right, so I'm gonna give a little bit of, I guess, just a overview of why we're launching the Bad Marketers Club. Then we can talk about a bunch of the updates and changes to our Content Maxima software. We could talk about Brand Helix a little bit, and then we'll get into the Q&A. So Rob and I are launching the Bad Marketers Club. Oh, DC Glenn just popped in. What's up, DC? So we are launching the Bad Marketers Club. Why would you want to be a bad marketer? Well, you wouldn't. So we're being a little punny here. Bad for us and for you guys should now be referred to as before algorithms decide. That's the, I guess, the what? The acronym. Yeah, thank you for the word. I was like head buzzing. Yeah, the acronym for our club, BAD, before algorithms decide. So everything that we talk about here moving forward is to educate you guys, regardless of the type of digital marketing you're doing, right? Could be SEO, could be pay-per-click, could be social, could be AI, could be anything in your tech stack, where Rob and my focus has been for the past 3 years. So just so you guys know, it has taken us 3 years to get to this point. So if you've been with us in the early days, you're an alpha subscriber, a beta subscriber, you were with us on the desktop app, first and foremost, thank you. Thank you for giving this legs. Thank you for getting us here, because without you, I don't know that we would have made it. So you breathed some life into us. So thank you very much to all the OGs here that have supported us in this new venture. So that being said, the Bad Marketers Club, everything we're going to discuss and teach here is before algorithms decide. We want you guys to know that you can actually take control before you put your message out there in the world. You can understand what the machines understand, and then you can tweak it and optimize it and make it better, so that when you finally publish it and go live with that content, you can make it scream, you can make it go big, right? You can get better results. At the end of the day, we want you guys to get better results regardless of the platform. So all of the topics and the framework and everything that we're going to discuss here is applicable across everything that you might be doing online. It's digital. So the one type of technology that we focus on, and you'll see here in our awesome movie poster style landing page, you'll see these blasters that we have that say NLP. It stands for natural language processing. Most people in the world have heard of it, maybe, right, in the digital space, like marketers, but most people in the world don't understand what it is. They've never heard of it. They've never seen it. But the secret to natural language processing is that it literally powers everything. So again, if we talk about search engines, if we talk about large language models, AI, pay-per-click, social, any device you're using, mobile devices, tablets, you're speaking into a microphone to your computer, all of that stuff is powered by natural language processing. It's the interface between us people and the machines. So we're speaking the machine's language, or I should say NLP is converting what we're speaking into the machine's language so that it understands us better. So we focus on NLP because it's the highest level or lowest level, whatever you want to call it, foundation, right, of technology in the stack. Everybody seems to focus on a platform. Marketers in general are looking for quick techniques, quick hacks, how do I get seen fast? How do I do this and that? And we for sure have some tricks and techniques and hacks for you. But at the end of the day, what Rob and I are going to preach here at the Bad Marketers Club is building your brand online. So our background, to give you a little bit of an introduction. So I came out of the events industry, not necessarily the digital marketing industry, but I slowly transitioned myself from a nightclub promoter to a photographer to an event rental company. Then I started specializing in the red carpet entrances like you see on TV for Hollywood movie premieres. And I built my events company up. And then we brought it online. I got into e-commerce because I wanted to help other people throw better events. And I knew how to use all the equipment, how to install it, which units were best, which ones, kind of sucked, what to avoid. Had all the tips and tricks from being in the field for a decade, doing live events from backyard birthdays to presidential galas and, doing major events with A-list celebrities, people you've heard of before, right? So I came out of modular construction, modular fabrication and events. There'd be a celebrity artist on tour. They say, hey, I need such and such a thing. And it was, Ed, how do we build this? And how do we build it in a way that logistically we can ship it around the country or ship it around the world? How do we put together all the parts? What materials do we use? So for me, the digital world was a pretty easy transition because once you're into building things like fabrication, you understand the materials, you understand, the different strengths and qualities and flexibilities and all that stuff. And then you have somebody ask you to build a vision. It's actually quite easy to make a transition into the digital space because everything is built and stacked and is modular, and all this tech kind of operates in a similar way. So for me, it was a pretty easy transition to get into e-com. I've now taken 5 different brands to the top of Google and had some really big success with it. Like I've had a world record sale. I've helped spawn a new industry. Just done a lot of things, like I said, for big brands, celebrities on tour, major events all around the country, all around the world, seven different countries at this point. So been at it for about 20 years in the event space. I started, like I said, as a nightclub promoter at 19 years old, getting people into the club, get their free drink ticket, all that good stuff. Now, Rob, you can introduce yourself, or I can try to explain you. What would you prefer?
I'm unexplainable, but I'll give it my best shot. So I, my background's in biochemistry, and that's my degree. I've been working in the pharmaceutical field for 25 years. I went into, in the pharmaceutical field, I went into data analytics and went deep into how to analyze data, how to connect the dots, so to speak, right, in the chemistry world. And then I spent probably, I don't know, going on 7 to 10 years of that time was in anti-counterfeiting. So I went deep in anti-counterfeiting, and basically you're, for lack of a better term, tracking down the bad guys. And that's where I went deep into data analytics, and all the software that they use out there, their graphical databases, basically, is how they're built. And it's how they, basically you do link analysis or graph analysis of crime networks effectively, and crime syndication networks and things like that. So I spent a ton of time doing those type of things. And in that time, got very, I would say, good at link analysis and graphical databases and basically connecting the dots. And then once my kids graduated, so I got 2 kids, they're both, in their 20s now. And I thought, well, I'm gonna venture into this internet thing. I don't think it's going away, right? I grew up where there was an internet, and then I thought, internet's not going away. So I got into the internet marketing side of things. And for you guys, the ones that have been around, I started with, I basically ended up partnering with Semantic Mastery and Marco Benavides, and we basically revamped the RYS package and the programs to where we were basically feeding our data into Google, reverse engineering their algorithm, their graphical databases, and found ways to exploit the algorithms they use to determine who they would rank on the first page of Google. Once we got done, or once it basically light bulb went off that all these different Facebook and Google and Bing and all of them, all the different platforms that we know that are, they're basically embedded into every bit of society now. All they are, they're built on a graphical database system, every one of them. And they're connecting basically the dots of your brand with the keyword clusters that your brand's known for. And they store that all in a graphical database. And if you understand what they're looking for, and you understand how you can feed that information into their graphical databases appropriately, then you get rewarded for it effectively. And by rewarded for it, it just depends on the platform. For Google, you start ranking on the first page. In Facebook, you start getting shown more, and you get further reach in the GMB maps, which yes, it's part of Google, but it's a slightly different algorithm, right? They're taking into consideration, it's like ranking for keywords, but then also the social proof. So the click-through rate, how many people are visiting your sites, leaving reviews and things like that. And the reason all that stuff works so well is because they're seeing other trusted brands. And by brands, brand is, I don't mean like a company necessarily. Each person here is a brand to Google. You're you're nothing different than a Home Depot or a McDonald's, right? Rob Beal is a brand in Google's database, and he's connected to, where I went to school, where I got my degree. He's connected to chemistry. He's connected to, Google rankings. He's connected to schema trainings. He's connected to, soccer, where I played sports in college. He's connected to, so all these different things. Google basically builds that brand profile of every individual. Every single person on the internet is getting a brand built around them, whether they mean to or don't mean to, right? Our job as marketers is to help disambiguate that. Feed the information to Google in such a clear fashion that they're not confused. Because Google, at the end of the day, they're in to make money, right? Everybody is out there to make money, right? They're businesses at the end of the day. A business does not stay in business unless they are bringing in revenue. And they've got to make sure what they're showing people is trusted. They determine trust by how can we find information about this person that we can then validate against other places on the web, and it all points to the same answers. And when you do that, then they'll show your profile, or they'll show your brand, or they'll show your company to the people searching, right? And then once I tinkered in there, then AI came along, and I decided I'm going to teach myself to code. So I'm a self-taught coder, which is where Content Maxima came from. I decided to start coding and start building just little pieces that would do little things at a time. And then Ed and I got together and we started stacking these so that we could reverse engineer and help everyone see what it is, the robots are seeing about your brands online, about keywords online, what are the connections that they're making, so that we can use that data to then, better place ourselves in the whatever graphical database you're trying to put your data into.
So if you like unfair advantages, you're in the right place, because you have a forensic data scientist here who likes to. It's not just that you're good at it, Rob, that you actually like to reverse engineer algorithms.
Oh yeah, that's like when they say, some stuff will fill you up and some stuff will empty you. Reverse engineering, this type of stuff, that's what excites me and fills me up. Doing the day-to-day grind, like the executing an SOP that already is done. That's not where that kind of lowers my meter. You get me in there and I got to figure something out. That lights me up. So that's how I got where I'm at right now, basically.
So I pulled up Rob's background here. My background's here on the website. We put them a little bit more formal because people are asking, like, well, what's your background in, and what do you know, and where do you come from, and all that kind of stuff. So we have that now on the About Us page if you guys want to read it. But again, we just wanted to make a formal introduction. And one final thing I'll say is I actually started as Rob's student. I took his schema course. I used his schema software, and as he'll tell everybody, I don't know, I'm a little extreme with my experiments. I break a lot of things. I leave no stone unturned. I constantly put things back into systems to just see how far I can push them. So when Rob was teaching me schema, I was kind of like, okay, well, like, how much schema can I have? And he's like, I don't know. Like, and I was like, well, what do you mean you don't know? Like, you're the guy who understands all the schema. And he's like, I don't know how far you can push it. Well, I started pushing it. And to make a long story short, he wound up kind of saying to me, like, hey man, you got to stop, because I was breaking his software and disrupting the service for all of his other customers. And he's just like, if you're going to keep this up, we're going to put you on your own demo environment. So that's what wound up happening, is they removed me. So I'm a paying customer. He removes me from his software and puts me on my own private server because I was just breaking the heck out of his software. Now, the reason I was doing it is, again, I was trying to just find the limits of like what you can do with schema at the time. Now we've gone on since then, and we've built a better rapport. And we wound up, again, as Rob said, starting Content Maxima. So I've taken a lot of his teachings and then I've just pushed them to the limit. So I'm taking more of the disruptor visionary role. I do all the design and marketing here. I'm the forefront of the Content Maxima brand, but Rob is kind of like the referee. He keeps me in line when I'm getting a little bit out of line, and he's the one who powers the whole backside. The coding is what he's gotten into. Programming is what he's gotten into. So that's kind of the power of the two of us together. It's why it produces magic like Content Maxima. It's why we, are ready to help you in any type of digital marketing that you're doing. And we have a lot to offer you guys. So I want to show you everything that we've been up to. Again, some of you might remember us. Some of you have probably never seen us before, and this is your first time, which is great. So thank you for joining us. Rob, anything else you want to add before I start kind of doing just a walkthrough and showing everybody what we've been up to?
No, I don't think of.
All right. Anybody questions or anything at the moment before I run on to the next stuff? If you have them, just drop them in chat. I'm trying to keep my eyes on that, and we'll try to address anything that you might have.
Yeah. And just as some housekeeping as we go, if you chat's great, but a lot of people are chatting here and there, so there's times I may miss stuff. So if you actually have true questions, I think there's a Q&A spot as well. So drop those in the Q&A, and we can always make sure we at least get back to those.
Cool. All right. So I wanted to, introduce, we're doing the B.A.D Marketers Club as a group for education. As a part of that education, we're going to do the free webinars every Monday. We're probably, as time goes on and we build the community here, you guys are early, but as we build the community up and we start advertising, which is all coming, there's going to be a lot more people, and we'll start to run some other trainings. We'll call them challenges. As we get to know what you guys are interested in, we're going to build out some challenges or some intensive training programs that you'll be able to sign up for. Additional cost, of course, but nothing crazy, just trying to avoid the tire kickers and really help teach people who want to learn something specialized. So because of our Content Maxima software, because of the way our customers have been interacting with the software and what we've been learning over the past couple of years here, we have some ideas of where we can go with the software. So we can do additional trainings on AI and chatbots and all sorts of fun stuff, Facebook algorithm, maybe even crypto one day, Rob, right? So we have our hands in a lot of things. We're interested in algorithms of all different types, and Content Maxima can help you regardless of where you go. So right now, if you aren't familiar with Content Maxima, we have many modules that are available in the app. It's all on the cloud now. So again, those of you who are with us back on a desktop app, it ran super slow. It was Python and OpenAI, and you used to have to wait like hours for reports. That is all fixed. That has all gone away. We are, hyper threaded, super speed, cloud, mobile device friendly, all that stuff. So Content Maxima is now literally in your pocket. You can run it on your phone. I do it all the time for people. If I sit down to consult with someone, I can just pop a report real quick and talk about that data. So we have all of these different modules. I'm not going to do a full walkthrough right now. That's what some of these webinars are going to be in the weeks moving forward. We can pick certain modules. We can pick people's questions. We can start to, break things down and really go deep on each of those. But what I am going to show you is here are all the modules. If you sign up, I will show you the training library. We've redone the training library. So if you're new and you've never, marketed the way that we do here at the B.A.D Marketers Club, the best thing that you could do for yourself would be to click on the training link. And the very first video I'd love for you to watch is called The Indoctrination. This is my thesis. It's basically learning from guys like Rob and other peers in mastermind groups how robots read, how they listen, how they see, and how they watch. And I literally show you that in this video. So instead of just talking about it, I show you where you can go, where you can try it yourself, free of cost. You know, you don't have to actually subscribe to our software. Again, the Bad Marketers Club is going to be here for free education as well as paid education as we go forward. But for now, all free webinars, all free information. So if you'll watch that video, I hope it changes your life, because it's what changed my life. It's what allowed me to be a normal special events guy with a rental company to dominating my market and my niche and setting a world record sale and landing all of those dream clients that I ever wanted, right? And being able to travel, all of that was possible once I realized how the robots were reading my content, seeing my images, watching my videos. So please watch that, send it to friends, share it with people. Our big initiative, like one of the ads we'll be running, is that video to try to get as many people as possible, because we know if people know and understand how the robots see us, listen to us, watch our content, read our content, the light bulb will go off for you. It doesn't matter what you're doing at this point in time, what the type of digital marketing is. Once you can see what the robot sees, the light bulb will go off and you'll start to have new ideas, and you'll understand why we built Content Maxima, what the framework is, and why it matters. So the whole training library has been built out. We're going to be adding a lot more videos, but we have a couple setup videos, troubleshooting videos, some example files. We have a video walkthrough of each of the modules. And then as we do these webinars, we're going to, add some of the videos here, but we'll actually have most of the replays, most of the content, especially the paid content and that sort of stuff, in a membership side of the software where you'll actually have to log in. So let me show you quick just that so you can see now, because some people were getting lost, and actually Jordan, of all people, Jordan Fowler here, helped me the other day just make this more clear, because we have a couple different places to log in for a couple different things. So now on the Content Maxima website, if you're interested in the software, you'll just go to my account, and right here you can launch the app. You can jump into the billing dashboard. So obviously to upgrade or renew or cancel subscription, all that stuff is in there. And then the exclusive members only area will be where we upload other resources. We're going to put education in there. We're going to put free resources in there. All of the stuff that we are not just going to give away for free, but if you are a subscribing member of Content Maxima, you'll get those bonuses. So to take a peek inside quick, I just want you to see this. We're still building this and working on this, and I'm going to add stuff, and I'll give tutorials on some of the things that are in here. But this is what it'll be like when you log in. I'm currently in the admin panel, so it's going to look just a little bit different without the menus. But essentially inside here, we're giving you a link to the Content Maxima application again. We are giving you one of our modules is called Matrix. It's one of the most powerful modules that we offer. In fact, I would reckon to say it's one of the most powerful things in digital marketing right now. There's no one else that has anything close to it, because we invented it. It's not like we ripped it off or stole it from someone else. Like I talk to AI all the time, like AI obsessed. I'm sure most of you are, but I've been like a tier 5 on OpenAI just in conversations, not being like an app developer. I've just had way too many conversations for far too many hours. And that was kind of how Content Maxima came to be, because I just kept asking questions and questions. And if I was your friend, I'd probably be really annoying, but AI doesn't cut me off or tell me to shut up, at least not yet. So I've been able to really
try harder.
Yeah, exactly. I've been able to really push research into all things AI, LLM, NLP, all of those topics that we're going to talk about by using those modules. So in here, I have for that module, some of you will remember, I have certain columns of data that are useful for specific platforms. I also tell you which data is relevant for certain social platforms and explain why they're relevant. A good example is like if you're on X or Twitter, right? Typically things that are more time sensitive or urgent pop up, and that manipulates algorithm. So I'll never forget, years ago, I was trying to get rid of computer chairs because my back was hurting, and I was sitting on an exercise ball, and all of a sudden my work desk and station and monitor all started shaking, and we were having an earthquake. And I had no idea, because in New York, earthquakes are not common. When I lived in California, they were far more common. In New York, they don't really ever happen. So I just remember sitting there feeling a little nauseous, seeing things shaking. And then all of a sudden, I was like, what's going on? And I see in the upper right-hand corner on my Twitter account at the time, right, it says, hey, does anyone else feel that? And I was like, I replied and was like, yeah, like what the heck's going on? I hadn't even put two and two together that it was an earthquake, but I knew within seconds after just replying to someone on Twitter that there was an earthquake happening. That real-time push of content, that real-time interaction that happens on a platform like Twitter, you know, that changes what the algorithm's looking for, how it functions, all that stuff. So the reason we call out different parts of our, you know, I guess computational linguistics, which is a big fancy word, but just the study of language, the study of what these machines are looking for. So, you know, Twitter is looking for specific things. Facebook's looking for specific things. They're all using specific models. So we try to help point you in the right direction here with that information. We've also added in here, again, I can go more in depth on these things, and we will in the future together, and it's all in here if you're a subscriber. We have custom GPTs we're going to be offering you. So I have two right now. One is called Vectra, which is my first attempt at building a bot that helps you with marketing based off of Content Maxima marketing files. So we call the files that come out of Content Maxima like marketing intelligence, right? There's a lot of ways you can use them. There's a lot of ways you can stack them. There's a lot of ways you could train your own AI and models with them. And we're going to get into all that. But we have one custom GPT that'll help with that, and it'll help you with some of your marketing tasks. And I've made it as easy as possible. I'm going to give a tutorial, but just kind of click and drag the files in, grab a prompt out of the library that I'm providing you, and you'll get some results. We're going to go over that in the near future. The second custom GPT is for our video intelligence module, which is probably the second most exciting module. It might be the first most exciting module for people, but we're letting you watch your videos. It doesn't matter if it's you know, TikTok, Instagram, Reels, or any shorts, right? Ads, YouTube videos, 10 minutes or less right now. But we're going to focus on the shorter clips because the amount of data you can get out of that module is a lot, and you can break it pretty easily. So we limit it to 10 minutes or less at the moment. And there's a custom GPT that'll help you find how to optimize your videos better. So when our software exports the data, you'll put it in that custom GPT. It'll lead you through a little exercise and put out some reports that tell you some things. Again, we'll do a tutorial on that in the near future here. And then, like I said to you, there's a prompt library that goes with that first custom GPT, Vectra. It's a huge prompt library I built with hundreds of different examples, things that you guys can take and try on your own. And again, I'm looking for feedback from our early adopters here and looking to make it better, right? I'm learning just as much as you guys are. I think Rob and I are miles ahead of people out there, because if you listen to everyone right now, especially today, OpenAI had a big launch, right? Big dev launch. Everybody in the world's obsessed with AI agents and automation right now. But I'll tell you what nobody's talking about. Nobody's talking about how to train your AI agents, how to provide data, clean, formatted data, chunked data, you know, data that's in a hierarchy that's easy for the machine to digest. Nobody's talking about how do we make a vector database, what these AI go out and hit. How do we make that function better for average people like you and me? So Rob and I have been exploring that for a long time, and we're going to get into that as well. So I know that's a quick overview. You probably will have some questions, but this is just a behind the scenes, and we're going to keep adding things as we build custom GPTs, as we find resources and unfair things. They're going to be here in the members area. So back out onto the website. Again, one's to launch the app, one's to handle your billing issues, one's to join the members area section. If you guys need help at any time, because that's not necessarily in here, on our contact page now, we've integrated a ticketing system. So in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see where it says need help. It's actually hidden right now, I think, because of where our pictures are on the screen. You see my mouse in the bottom right. If you click this, it'll open a full ticketing system that comes to Rob and I so that we can help you guys. So instead of just doing emails or pinging us on Facebook or whatever, we actually have a full-blown ticketing system so that we can, you know, try to service you guys quickly and keep things organized and not get people's, you know, needs mixed up. So all of that has been built out and is ready. So if you have any issues, contact us and open a ticket. At the let me jump over to pricing quick, just for those of you who haven't seen Content Maxima before, and just talk about the different tiers. So again, we're mobile optimized, ready for any type of device. We have 3 different tiers right now. The first tier is going to give you the analysis module. The second tier is going to give you the analysis module and the matrix module. And the final tier is going to give you everything that we do. It's going to open the doors to anything experimental, any new modules. We're going to do some extra webinars and training and private things for the people in that tier. Basically, it's an all access pass, right? Now, if you're doing, you know, specific types of marketing, we might suggest for you to go into one of these tiers, but ultimately the whole suite has been designed for anybody doing anything because it's data science based. It's, you know, graph database optimized and engineered with Rob's help to really focus on how machines store and retrieve information, how they understand that information. So we have these 3 tiers. If you're not familiar with it, it's there. Let me keep going here. The final thing I want to show you guys is at the very bottom of the website right now, we have a couple links for you. So we have the Bad Marketers Club page, which this is that page. This is where people sign up to get to the webinars like this tonight. So if you haven't already signed up, please go to contentmaxima.com/bad or scroll down to the footer and find the Bad Marketers Club and put in your information here. Again, it's our VIP list. So anytime we have the regular scheduled programs, we're going to send out those notices and signups. Anytime we do something spontaneous, kind of like what we did today. We did not heavily advertise this, but thank you so much for showing up if you're here, because we do have quite a few people here. But yeah, we'll just hit this list every time. It's going to be used for nothing else but just notifying you that, hey, we're going to be doing a webinar and educating you on something. So that is here at this page. The final thing that is in the footer is an affiliate link. So some of you were asking, some of our early adopters and customers were asking, hey guys, like, can I affiliate for you? Of course, because we want you to affiliate for a couple reasons. Number one, we want you to be able to offset the cost of us running the software and charging you so that it's, you know, cheaper for you, right? It's always better. The second thing is, though, if you're looking for a way to generate more revenue, you know, I think we're going to do a really generous program in comparison to other people, right? The people who are starting to push things in the early days, or we're going to give you lifetime. I know all these software founders out there will say, oh, we're going to do lifetime. And then 6 months later, they pull the rug on it. No. Rob and I have other companies, other means of income. We really want to help you. And by you helping us, we can help you, right? We can give that kickback. So anybody who helps us with the affiliate program right now, we're talking substantial earnings, right? For life. Probably something like 15% a month. We don't have all the details set for everyone just yet. In addition to some of that lifetime money that you can be earning, we'll also put things in place because we want the long-term help, but we understand in order to be an affiliate, you need quick hits, right? It's not motivating for me to sell something and not see any type of payment really quick. So if we can give you an upfront boost of payment, right? Good percentage of the first month or first 2 months, or we run some sort of sales initiative. If you hit a certain level, we can bonus you for the number of months people sign up. We have all sorts of things that we can do together, but I just want you to know there'll be that upfront quick money in competitions, and we want to build a community around it. And then there'll be that long-term lifetime money that we want people to be able to, you know, build passive income with. Like, I don't want to have a community that we build up and then we pull the rug on them 5 years in when somebody's been living off of affiliate commissions and they were here at the ground floor to help us build this up. So my promise to you, Rob's promise to you, is our affiliate program, we're still figuring it out, but if you want to apply, you can sign up here and it'll take you to a sign up page, and we're going to start to approve people one-on-one. You're not going to get instantly approved. That's not what we want. We want to get to know you. We want to know what your plan is. We want to help you, right? If there's things that we can give you to enable you to sell better, right? Whether those are design visuals or whether it's just insider information or tips on what to do. If you have a desire to become an affiliate marketer, if you look right now, affiliate marketing is almost dead. It really stinks. Like if you try to do it for Amazon, you get like, I think it's like less than 1% now. Walmart's like 1%. A lot of these programs that were in place, they just suck now. You can't possibly make a good amount of money by doing that affiliate marketing. We'd like to change that with Content Maxima. We'd like, whether you're an agency making your money with our data and reports and building stuff online, or whether you're not an agency or freelancer doing that stuff or enterprise company and you just want to make some side cash, affiliate will be a way that you can do it. And we want to build a really strong community in here. We want to work with you guys, and you can help us not only build the customer base, but where we are today, we hope, Rob and I hope, that you're going to give us feedback, right? And tell us the things you like and dislike. And we're going to really take it to heart. We both are open ears, open books. Like what you see is what you get. No BS, no nonsense. So if you have something that bothers you or is missing or whatever, bring it to our attention, put it in a ticket, get it in front of us, and let's build this community together, because that's the only way we're all going to get better. We're all going to make more money. And more importantly than anything, build our brands online, whether it's a personal brand for you, whether it's your client's brand, whether it's a new company or store or whatever you want to launch. We're going to do that together, and we're going to do that here in the B.A.D Marketers Club. So that's what we've been working on. Affiliate is done. Training is done. Members area is done. Ticketing system is done. And of course, software is done. The last exciting thing that we put into the software recently, it's a bonus. We're going to keep it in there for as long as we can, but you guys got to understand it's expensive to run, is our video intelligence module. So again, giving you the power to see how a machine watches your video. I mean, that will blow your mind once you get in there and run it, because nobody's ever done it before, right? It's not, I guess, very well advertised that robots are watching your video and how they do it. So, oh, thank you, Dottie. You should write B.A.D as an acronym. I'll take that into consideration for sure. B.A.D. But yeah, the video intelligence module is mind blowing. Of all people, DC the other day, I was showing him the video module, and I think he's got a million ideas from the little demo that we did. So this here is the software. The native modules are analysis, matrix, personas, pathways, perspectives, signatures, socials, videos. This outline is an extra module. You can turn it on and off in the settings area. So if you log in for the first time and you're not seeing it, I just want you to know that it's just an extra. We may have other extras that we toggle in and out as we get feedback from you guys. You know, some of these modules may change over the years, but it's going to be off of your guys' vote and voice. It's not going to be that we're just going to gut something out and you know, piss you off. We may have done that in the early days to some of you, and I'm sorry if you're one of those people. You can, of course, bring that feedback to us. However, what we're giving you now is a million times more powerful than anything that we had in the really, really early days as a desktop app. So all that being said, that's kind of where we're at. And Rob, did I miss anything? Do you have anything to add? Should I go back and show something more specific? Otherwise, we'll open up Q&A.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add around that Content Maxima as far as that goes. Just a little bit of where I'm at as far as for the people that have been with us before, that knows that we kind of shut down the Heavy Hitter Club membership, where we used to take questions and answers. This has kind of replaced that. We're just going to be doing free Q&As every now and then. If we go into something really crazy, we might have a small paid one, stuff like that. We're still building that roadmap as we go. But this is where you're going to find me and Ed sharing information about that stuff. The store that we used to have is now Brand Helix. We've rebranded that. So we still have all the same stuff that a lot of companies have built their entire company on. So we didn't want to just leave people hanging. I'm not one that likes to just leave people out to dry. So as long as, that stays solvent, it'll still be there to help support all the businesses that we support by helping them build their brand online. This is where you can buy the actual products that we talk about, right? This is so you don't have to go in and build your social profiles online. You don't have to go in and build your SEO shield that helps to basically set the foundation of your brand online. So if you want to find that information or to buy the stuff that you've all come to know, it's going to be at brandhelix.com. So all of that is going to be, they're kind of, I don't know if the right words, like sister businesses, but they're all owned and operated by the same people. So we're just kind of compartmentalizing to keep things clean. But they're all still going to be there. So.
Yeah. So for those of you who are not familiar with it, Content Maxima will be your strategy and your data. Brand Helix will offer some done for you services. So if you're not someone who want to take things fully into your own hands, you don't have the time, you need to outsource, you can get some really awesome stuff here at Brand Helix. And then the Bad Marketers Club is going to be where all the education is. So this ecosystem we're building, the framework that we're building, is multiple companies, multiple softwares, multiple things supporting each other. Because we know if we're going to have longevity here, we need that. We need the diversification. We need to support everybody in many different ways. So Bad Marketers Club, again, education. Brand Helix, done for you services. Content Maxima is our framework for strategy and data.
So that's all I have. We can go into, let's see, if Q&As. And again, guys, if you're putting stuff in chat, if you can put it in the Q&A, I can try to scroll through chat and find stuff, but with people chatting, it gets lost sometimes. So if I don't get to it, drop it in the Q&A. So one of the first Q&As, someone asked about the Airbnb algorithm. I've never worked on the Airbnb algorithm. My guess is it's probably very social driven, similar to like a GMB type algorithm, right? It's going to be its own company. But my guess is there's a ton of user proof from reviews, from interaction with the site, from the stars. I would also guess that there's probably a lot to do with being that people are going to be renting places. How well is your listing? I don't even know if it's right. It's optimized is the right word, but it probably is, right? Because people are going to be searching for terms to make sure that you've got the terms that are in there based on where you're at, right? You don't want to have, beach access if you're in a Denver, Colorado type ski resort. You make sure you've got to have message match on there as well so that the right stuff comes up. But then the other would be, I'd say, a lot of pictures, because I know personally when I go look at different places I'm going to stay, I look at pictures and I look for very clean pictures. I don't mean clean, but like not blurry, so I can really look at the place that I'm staying. And I look for ones that has more than like 1 or 2 pictures, because from the customer side looking in, if I open up 5 or 6 places and one has 3 pictures and the other one has 30, I tend to lean towards the one with 30, because if my instinct is if they only took 3, that means the other 27 they didn't take that the other person did means they're trying to hide that, oh, well, these are the only 3 good, angles we could get to make it look good, versus this guy took 40 and it's like got every angle of every room. So I'm not going to go in there and be like, oh, well, that one picture looked good, but when you go to this other wall, the drywall's got holes in it and there's mold on the wall and stuff like that. So that would be my guess at Airbnb. Have I ever done it on my own? No. But it's almost like a social profile. It's like a social network, really.
And Rob, let me jump in for a second. I actually think so. Rob's totally onto something with the social aspect of it. Again, Airbnb also, I would imagine, because it's a marketplace. Now, I Airbnb quite often. A few months out of the year, I'm actually abroad. So I do book on Airbnb. So to Rob's point, photos would be very important. Obviously some of the things that you write in the profile, your reviews. But here's what I was going to add. Much like Amazon, like product listings on a page, Amazon has a part of their algorithm that is called A9. And what A9 does and how people manipulate it, right? The A9 factor. I don't know if that's the whole algorithm or a factor of the Amazon algorithm, but in order to boost your listings up, people
Airbnb.
know. Say it again.
He said Airbnb.
I'm sorry. Yeah. No, I know, but
right.
I'm Airbnb is going to function like Amazon's A9
gotcha.
because it's like product listings, right? Each one of the properties that I can book as a user is like a product, just like Amazon. So as I'm scrolling through and clicking, right, I might scroll past the first 10 because I don't see that photo that I'm looking for that, you know, gives me the vibe. Oh, they don't have a patio for my kids to play, or they don't have a pool, so I don't want them. The clicking, right, is going to help, I would imagine. Like you said, the engagement. The people I know that have manipulated on Amazon have done like some CTR type manipulations, or going to click on a product that's number 80, right? If I search in a specific product, they go to page 5 and they manually scroll, right? You can't just jump to that product listing. They have to manually scroll all the way down to, you know, the 80th product, click, add it to the cart. That interaction, the fact that someone would have scrolled through every listing and then finally number 80, boom, they added it to the cart, they bought it. That single action is going to trigger that A9, and it's going to help boost that profile up, right? So I even think just like on Airbnb, if you're not booking something, even just getting messages, right? Message this this host, right? If I scroll through a bunch of listings, I click into one, I'm engaging in those photos, and then I message that host, I would imagine those are going to be the heaviest. So photos, reviews, and interactions, like Rob says, I agree.
Okay. Dottie said, can you do press releases again? Yeah, Dottie, I'm working on, I'm talking to Jeremy to get because they've updated their whole press release system to get that back on the store. But if you have ones, just hit support, support at brandhelix.com if you have a specific question. But yeah, we're working on getting those back open on the store so you can buy the press releases. But we use Press Advantage, and they've increased their distribution and a lot of other bells and whistles on there. So the price structure is going to be a little bit different for sure. The question was, what's the best way to test and figure out what to feed the Airbnb algorithm?
One thing at a time, I would say. So I would go try to get some of your friends and family members. If you have a listing that you're trying to boost, I would go try to get them all around the world, all around different countries and stuff, right? You don't want it to look unnatural. Just text people, you know, you got a buddy that lives in, you know, California, Montana, Canada, whatever. Just, I would say to them, hey, can you just go to Airbnb? Can you search for this city, whatever city you're in? Can you scroll through the listings until you find mine? And you might even give them a heads up and say, hey, like, this is what mine looks like. And then have them message you on the platform, or have them engage with that listing on the platform. And just a few people, I would imagine, especially if you're really, really low in that algorithm, just a few people going through the photos, dropping a message, that type of thing. That's just absolutely going to help push right up. And then to Rob's point, the images. And I mean, it's definitely a lesson we could go into at some point in time, but running, like, let's say you have competitors in your area. Hey, I know this guy is a super host. He kills it in my town, and I just can't get my listing to be as good as his. I would really be focusing on what photos, especially like a cover photo or featured photos, is that particular property using. And I would even run those photos. And here's a tip of advice. You can get this out of my indoctrination video, but if you'll go to Google Vision, this is an AI. This is an AI before AI was called AI, right? But you can come in here and go to demo. So it's cloud.google.com/vision. You can take your competitors' Airbnb photos, drop them in here, and see what it's saying about those. Because it might be something as simple as like, you know, hey, this feature photo shows, you know, really beautiful landscaping, right? And if I'm going to, I don't know where your Airbnb is, but if I'm going to Siena, Italy, I want to see those cool cypress trees and beautiful landscapes and dreamy environments in order for me to book. If I see, you know, trash bins or something on the front of your house, your property, and that's your photo, like, the algorithm knows that they're trash cans and not cypress trees, and it knows it's not as visually appealing to people. But I would click and drag your competitors' photos right in to Cloud Vision, see what entities come up. And I can, we got a few minutes here, right? 7:30. Yeah, let me just grab an Airbnb photo, right?
While you're doing that, I'm going to answer a couple of the other ones because they're pretty specific.
Cool.
It says, will the past SEO packages be moved to Brand Helix? There's been a couple from different people asked similar question. We're probably not going to move every single one to Brand Helix because there's a lot of them that have just people have ordered and disappeared. We haven't heard from for 5 years, so I'm not going to, take the effort to move all of those over. As crazy as that sounds, but if you have some, just email support@brandhelix.com, and then we can get whatever moved over and kind of work it out because it's going to be different for every individual person. So it's kind of hard to answer extreme detail for every individual person, but just hit up support@brandhelix.com and we'll help get worked out through your guys' different accounts for the people that were asking.
I'm grabbing a photo from the last Airbnb that I stayed at. I was just in Lisbon, Portugal a couple weeks ago. And so I'm going to grab a photo of the property here. I'm just saving it out so that we can just drop it in. And I got a little one screaming in the background if anyone hears that. All right, Lisbon, Airbnb. Random fact about Airbnb, now that we're talking about it. I went to high school with Brian Chesky. He's a year older than me. I was in Allison Chesky, his sister's class. Pretty wild to know a family that gets that successful from the son's genius business, right? Very nice people. I was not super close to them, but they've done a lot of nice things for people in our hometown. Okay. I think I have this now. Let me see here. Hold on. All right. Let me pop this back over. You guys can see the Google Vision again, right?
Yep.
Okay. So we go to demo, and I'm going to click. Oh, gosh. Why are you freezing? So this was the living room. That's the feature photo on the listing. So let me show you this listing. All right. So here's the Airbnb listing that I just stayed at in Lisbon. It was a beautiful property. Highly recommend if you're going to Lisbon. This was a great spot. But I was looking for like outdoor space for my kids to play in. I was looking for 2 beds for my girls. I was looking for a nice table to work at, all that stuff. So this is that listing. These are the featured photos. So if I'm optimizing an Airbnb listing, I'm starting here at the photos because this is front and center, right? And look at how some of the keywords and stuff that this superhost had put in. Terrace, AC, fast Wi-Fi. As an American, as a digital nomad, that was like really important. A terrace outside, air conditioning, fast Wi-Fi. For Europe, like fast Wi-Fi isn't always the case, and AC is definitely a big plus. So are like washers and dryers, right? Like a lot of people just don't have them. So yeah, I dropped this photo in here, and I would just see the types of things that are showing up that it's identifying and the labels it's giving my Airbnb listing. So you can see it's picking up on the fact that there's lamps and tables and couches and chairs and furniture and all that stuff. And it's actually funny that it thinks this photo is interior design. So if I took a photo, if I was you, I had an Airbnb property and I take a photo and I upload it here into Google Vision, if I'm not getting like an interior design type label, my photo's probably not nice enough, right? Maybe the way I've furnished my home isn't nice enough. Now, again, you don't have to go out and get a ton of furniture, but maybe you can arrange things a little neater or a little bit more appealing for people, right? And so you can use, because this is like the DNA of this photograph, you can use what's coming up here and the fact that, hey, this comes across as interior design to the Google image bot, like that's a certain level of quality. For it to say we're 99% sure that this image is interior design, well, this post made this property look amazing. So again, your spaces, maybe you can do some things to make them look more amazing, and that's going to drive up your engagement. And yeah, this is all beautiful data that you could compare yourself to. So whoever's beating you in the listings, Look at how and why they're beating you. Maybe it's as simple as, there's no lamp in my photo. All of a sudden you put a lamp in and you go up a little bit. And people say, well, how could that happen? This is where like A/B testing things matters, but it is the littlest things that you might not imagine that the machine understands that can get you ahead. So that's what I would do. It's funny the Netflix logo gets picked up. You guys see that? And also, this is something good too, safe search, because if you happen to have something on the wall, right? It might be something as simple as like a really, maybe you have like a nude figure, right? Like that's like high-end art or something that you think's beautiful, but Google and all of the crawlers and stuff are like, oh, that's explicit content. So your Airbnb listing's going down because you have this beautiful nude sculpture, but that's actually hurting your listing. You might not think about things like that, but the robot will see it and the robot will punish you for it. So I would do that. Would be my tip of advice.
Okay. I'm gonna scroll through chat here real quick. That's all the Q&As. And again, if I haven't got to your question, put it in the Q&A section if I miss it. Right, B.A.D is an acronym. Personally got that. Dottie said she uses the outlines extensively that come from our app and then puts those into her own custom GP to help do her content. Yeah, I've heard there's been a lot of people that have used it like that, Dottie, because the outlines are good. And for those who have been around when we had a desktop app, we had it where it would write articles. But as I'm sure some of you have used article writers out there, as soon as I started having code that wrote articles, then they're like, well, I want to do that. They basically wanted me to rewrite ZimWriter. And I'm like, no, I don't want to rewrite ZimWriter, guys. If you want tone and tonality and all these 50,000 things he keeps adding, then take our outlines and put it into ZimWriter, right? Because I didn't want to compete with, there's 150 different types of content generation machines out there already. And that's not what we were, that wasn't the main focus. So we've kind of sunsetted the article writing portion for that reason.
And the outline feature, again, to activate it, if you don't see it, you just have to go into settings, and we call it Mork mode because Jeff Mork, one of our original customers and supporters, is the one who asked us to keep it in there. So we just called it Mork mode for fun. But you can do it two ways. Dottie was obviously bringing this to the table. So those of you who are not familiar with it, you can either have outlines created off of a specific idea, concept, or entity, or you can actually take the report that comes out of our analysis module. So you'll get a spreadsheet that the analysis module runs. And what that module is doing is it is breaking your topic down, how it's stored in a graph database. So it's measuring edges and nodes. And if this gets too technical, it's measuring how far apart ideas are. That's all it is. How far apart they are physically, how far apart they are in the graph database. So you can take that analysis file, you can upload it in here, and you can actually have it output a bunch of
Yeah, to give you outline for every term.
Every term. So here's a good one. So let's just, for the heck of it, just because Airbnb came up. I'm going to run an analysis report quick on Airbnb. I'm asking it to find 10 of the closest nodes to Airbnb and then 3 of the closest nodes to each of those, just for a quick report. Here's that Airbnb analysis. I'll open it up so you guys can see what it looks like quick. Okay. So this tab, if you've never seen this before, this is the keyword that I entered, and then this is where it starts to measure. The closest idea to Airbnb in the graph database is vacation rental. It's the very first node. So you don't have to, this looks overwhelming here. Just come over here to the blueprint. We make it look real nice and easy. So this tells you the topic that you would want to be writing about, right? Vacation rental, short-term rental, home sharing, travel accommodation. So all of these are here. So you can take this report and very quickly turn this into outlines so that you can pump out a ton of content. So if we go over to that analysis feature, the outlines feature, and we do the file upload, and we grab the Airbnb analysis, and I say generate outlines, it's a couple seconds, but it essentially sets up article structures that focus on that entity, that concept, that theme, that idea, and what you should cover. And look how fast it was. That was real fast, right? You'll download the outlines. Let me open those. And it doesn't look like much, but you have to click into the cell here, right? And if you click into the cell, you'll actually, I'm going to enable editing. I'm so bad at Excel, it kills Rob, so forgive me. All right. I'm just going to put it in a notepad so we can see it better, okay? Because Excel is hard to see. But that little cell has a really comprehensive outline, and it tells you exactly what to talk about. So if you were trying to rank for the keyword Airbnb, you would have to talk about founding in early days, the growth and expansion, how it works, the benefits of it for guests and for hosts, challenges and criticisms, the regulatory issues and the safety and security concerns, the impact on the travel and hospitality issue, changes in travel trends, community and cultural exchange, the future, the innovations in technology they're doing, the marketing trends and predictions. So this gives you that fast an outline. So to Dottie's point, you could then take it and put it into chat, or put it into Claude, or put it into ZimWriter, or put it anything in your stack. The great part about Content Maxima is whatever data it exports, you can then use that wherever you go, or however, whatever stack you use. And I think the thing that people don't understand all the time is that, as Rob said, we didn't want to get into article writing, because we talked to 100 different agency owners, and we said, like, okay, like, what would you need to write, and what would you need to write? And this one over here wants, to be able to put 11 H2s in their article, and this one wants to put in auto-generated images, and this one over here wants, to be able to stuff more keywords, and this one over here wants to link things, and this one over here wants the tone of their article to be written in a certain way. It's too much. It's a goal that we could never hit as, a software company together. Like, that would drive us crazy. And then with things out there already that are super powerful and good at that kind of stuff. And again, Claude's great at writing. Chat's okay. It can be great at writing. Depends. It needs a little bit more work sometimes. But ZimWriter and some of these other softwares that are out there, there's a million AI writers. We didn't want to be those, but we did want to help you with the strategy and execution, because there's nothing worse than getting a new customer or hitting that like brain fart or that wall that you just can't get past. Like, okay, well, what do I write about now? We don't want you to have to think. Like, Content Maxima takes the strategy and just makes it easy for you. It's click, boom, here it is. Now, of course, can you add your own, flair, spice, twist to this content? Yes, and you should, right? You shouldn't just take this verbatim. There'll be people, plenty of customers we have, that just copy and paste what our software outputs, and they'll run off with it, and they'll be happy, and they'll find success, and that's great for them. But you should take these and, add your voice to it, add your tone, add your information, right? This is just a really solid foundation to start with, and it's been tuned on that data science front. It's the edges and nodes. It's what the machine's expecting you to talk about. So it's not that you can't have other things. It's that this is what the machine is expecting you to talk about. And if you give the machine what it expects, then it knows you're an expert. It knows to recommend you. And we're not just talking in search, right? If you were running, you could use the same exact information in, social media campaign or pay-per-click campaign or training in AI or whatever, right? You could be tasked, you could be hired by Airbnb to say, build us a custom GPT or an internal AI. I'm sure they have people in there that, do that, but a smaller company might not. So you could be tasked, well, hey, we want you to write all about our brand. And if that brand's well known enough and it has edges and nodes in the database, right? If it has that brand being mapped out, our software will pull it all out and give you exactly what to talk about so that you're recommended. Because ultimately, that's what we want. We want the machines to recommend us. Doesn't matter what type of marketing you're doing. We just want to be the recommendation. How do you become that recommendation? You feed it exactly what it expects.
Okay. Okay. Next question. Dottie asked, "How's Marco?" I haven't talked to Marco for a while. Remember, he's always said in the past he's just going to ride off into the sunset, and he basically rode off into the sunset. Um, I would say it wasn't a exact like planned out thing, as I'm sure you guys could tell. We kind of scrambled to just kind of shut everything down. He was done. He made made it clear it was done, so we just closed shop, and that's why we're restarting where we're at now. But I don't want to like say anything else. Basically, he wanted to ride off in the sunset, and so he has, right? So okay, let's see. Is Content Maxima overkill if we only want to target lower competition bottom of the funnel keywords? You want to take that one first? I got my answer, but
I mean, I would say like no, but it might, depending on what type of business you run and the scope of your operation. You might say to me, well, Ed, like, I don't think I need all those extra modules in the maximize level. That's not for me. But that analyze, that very first one, and probably that second one, the matrix, it's just going to give you such an unfair advantage, because the analysis is going to tell you if it's a low level keyword or a really high level keyword. It doesn't matter. It's just going to give you what to target. And then that matrix is going to give you what we call the trigger terms, right? Which is literally going to bend the algorithm math. We're basically stuffing the robot with every word it expects. And it's like eating its favorite 10-course meal, right? It's all of the terms that will make that algorithm bend to you. So those two, whether you're not doing all the other stuff, you're not doing video, you're not training AI chatbots or anything like that, that's fine. You might stay in one of the lower tiers. I don't think it's overkill. I think what it is, and this is what we say, like, we don't say it cheesy, but it's a light in the dark, because most people's problems, and this is what I preach in that indoctrination video. If you go watch it, please watch it if you haven't. But over 99% of content's being ignored online algorithmically. It's literally being ignored. It's not good enough to even get the robot's attention. So here, go to the About Us page. I put the stat in there, the exact. Yeah, 99.69%. And people ask, well, how do you know that? In the indoctrination video, I cover this, but we know there's over 130 trillion pieces. I think it was like a 2019 stat that Google knew about, had crawled, had found. That doesn't mean it's in the index. It doesn't mean they use all of those pieces. In fact, Google has said that it ignores 40 billion pages a day. There's just so much spam and garbage out there. But this is the problem with people, is you think you write good content, right? I wrote this beautiful article. I put 5 hours into it. I made really good custom images to go with it, and the robot still doesn't care. And it doesn't care because you're just not feeding it what it needs. Like, quality is subjective, and to robots, it's totally different than what human beings think. The robot doesn't care how much effort you put into it. It doesn't. As long as it hits a certain criteria, that's what's going. So I don't think it's overkill. I think it's like cheat codes. Between you and I, it's cheat codes. It's the easiest way to build your brand and build it at that data science level to get to the top. So that's my opinion, Rob.
yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Like for the example for Airbnb, right? That one may seem, well, I'm not going to try to do Airbnb. I just want the real low level keywords, right? I get that. Don't start with the Airbnb term. Put your low level, whatever keyword you're going in for, right? And see what are the topics you need to discuss on that page for that keyword, right? And one of the examples, and it was around, I forget what it was. It was some monitoring or something that when we were playing around, and the AI saw it as surveillance.
Oh, the baby monitor. It was
yeah. So we did I forget, we did a demo one time, and
Nanit baby cams.
Yeah, so it was a Nanit baby cam, right? They're trying to rank for like some low level term on a specific brand / baby camera that falls under baby monitoring. The AI wanted to it was looking for the term surveillance on there.
Infant surveillance, because I remember saying to you, Rob, I said it was really creepy when it came up, because I'm a dad. I have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. So can you imagine someone approaching me and being like, hey, I have this great infant surveillance product for you? I'm like, dude, like, That's weird. Get away from me. Like, that doesn't sound right. But that's what the machine thinks. I would be like, oh, I need a baby cam or a bedtime camera. Like, I don't know what I would type, to be honest, but it's not going to be infant surveillance. That doesn't sound right. But that's the vector embedding. That's like the bot's definition of it.
Yeah. So just that one thing there, mixing. I'm not saying title your page infant surveillance, but if you mix those terms into your page, you're actually telling the bot that this is a baby monitor, that I'm trying to surveil or watch my infant for something that happens.
Gives
so
it
at
clarity.
the highest level, it is an infant surveillance system. That seems creepy as all get out for a human being to say, right? I want to surveil the infants. To a bot, that's exactly what you're doing. We use our human language to say, well, it's a baby monitor to make sure they're safe, but it was a wild, right? Something like that. So just little nuggets like that to put you closer into what the algorithms and what AI and what the robots classify your terms under. We would have never thought of those terms if we wouldn't have run analysis. And I think that one showed up in the matrix when we did the 63 different types of language analysis on the term. Those were the terms that were coming up across multiple language analysis runs that we did. So just even little things like that, right? And like Ed said, you may not need every single piece, but just those two together, adding those in and say, I want to write an article about baby monitors and, try to put in these terms that I know are going to be needed, right? It will be helpful.
I just want to see, Rob, because it was actually consulting on the Amazon algorithm, like for Nanit, because there's, it's super competitive, right? Especially now it's like Prime Day. But yeah, Nanit Essential Smart Baby Monitor, they're like down here. These are obviously ads and Prime deals and stuff. But yeah, we were trying to help them increase their ranking. Now, whether they actually did it or not is another thing. But yeah, baby monitor is the term that everybody's typing in on Amazon. But it could be as simple as at the end of your product listing in Amazon, it could just be, again, Nanit, the world's premier infant surveillance company. And it's not anywhere where the customer sees it because it's creepy, like Rob said. It's just weird. Baby monitors is much more appealing, but you get it in there and get it in your listing, and all of a sudden the machine's like, oh, infant surveillance brand, they're the top one in the world. Okay, got it. Well, their baby monitors are the best then. Boom. So it's not always what you think it is.
Yeah, exactly.
We all have ideas. We even had another customer we were helping out with. Was it Don Phelps, right? With the bounce house stuff that came up, the wedding rentals, right? They do a bunch of bounce house marketing, and wedding rentals kept coming up. And I was like, I come from events. I didn't even really think about that, but it kind of makes sense if you think about, well, what do you rent a bounce house for? Well, I rented one for my daughter's birthday. So we all know birthdays are great for bounce houses, and festivals, fairs, farmers markets, like anything outdoors, right? But then it was like weddings. And then I got to think about it, and I'm like, actually, what a great idea. Because if you have a reception, and if kids are allowed at that reception, right? Some places say black tie, no kids. But if your wedding has families and with kids, what a great way to entertain those kids for a couple hours, keep them out of trouble, keep them off the dance floor so they don't trip grandpa and he breaks his hip, right? Like, get them in a bounce house, get a bounce house outside the reception hall or in the reception hall. And now the kids have something to do all that time. And it's a whole new world of revenue that would have never known about until it came out of the database. So there's a lot of like nuggets that just come up where people who know their niche, people who know their industry, they're shocked. There's things that they expect. They're like, oh my gosh, I knew all of this, but then there'll be something and they go, wait a minute, I never thought about that before. And it's like, yeah, that's a really good idea to increase revenue if you got a bounce house, wedding rentals, receptions. Had no clue.
Jordan, somebody's going to game it and start a private investigator firm for infants. There you go.
Super niche.
Yeah.
Super niche.
Okay. This one says, do we need new credentials? Yes, you'll have new credentials for the Brand Helix store, but just email support@brandhelix.com to get stuff like that worked out. Okay. Q&A. Jordan, does anybody want to go halfsies on the private investigator agency? There you go. But yeah, just stuff like that I never would have thought of, right? And we're not just, a lot of people think, well, I can just go to AI and say, hey, tell me what's related to my term. Yes, you can. Have at it, right? But as Ed said, we've been spending 3 years really prompt engineering these things to tease out the information in the way we know it should be. And we've tested across multiple niches, multiple markets with multiple people. And of course, if you're doing tree trimming, tree removal, stump grinding, like the things that are going to come up. It's the ones you don't think about that you're like, wow, that opens a whole nother area where I can target and maybe pick up a whole nother section of revenue for this thing I knew a lot about, right? So that's where I think the power is. And the matrix, I mean, we kind of glazed over it, but it does 63 different types of language analysis, specific types of language graphing, and it compiles all that data into one report for you.
Gives you that clean path. Yep.
Okay, new credential, target lower, no. Susan said she's been using Content Maxima daily for researching all the articles, using the analysis, and then she used Claude. So as Ed and I've been saying, this isn't a do your content for you. This is to give you the data to put into your whatever stack you're using. And she's using Claude, and she was able to do a website launch project and then use our data to train Claude. And she was able to structure a website and get 250 plus editorial plan for the next 2 years based on just the 6 modules from Content Maxima. So.
And I will say, if you're interested in trying sign up for a month, give it a shot. If you don't like it, it's fine. Like Rob and I aren't going to bite your head off or something. But what I will tell you to test, go into your favorite AI. I don't care if it's Grok or Chat or Claude or whatever, right? And just ask it, hey, generate me a list of 20 highly relevant keywords. Then go run our analysis report. It'll be very different. Yes, there'll be overlap, but it'll be different. It'll look like 2 totally different people did it, and because they did. Because the stuff that the AI chats are going to give you is not engineered like Content Maxima is. So that would be my test. If you want to test, is it any good? I would say, hey, sign up for a month, run some analysis reports, and side by side them to your favorite AI, and you'll see the difference. I know you'll see the difference because I've run that test 100 times, and you're going to say, there's something different about Content Maxima. Yes, you can still get relevant keywords from AI, right? You don't need Content Maxima to get relevant keywords. But if you're looking for that, surgeon level precision, that's where we're going to come in and we're going to knock it out of the park for you.
Okay, it's one game. Jordan, Content Maxima and the brand Helix products rock. Thanks, Jordan. Appreciate it, brother. We try. Okay, any more questions before we start shutting down? We're getting close to the hour, the 8 o'clock hour, but if you guys have more questions, again, like I said, there's like a 5 or 10 second delay, so I'll give you a second to either pop something in Q&A or chat. If not, we'll wrap it up for the first week.
Yeah, and if you have any suggestions or asks, right, for future weeks, we're pretty casual at this point in time, but we'll get more formal on training specific things, right? Go through the software suite, go through some of our methods, go through some of our resources, and really give you live demos of all of that. But if there's something on your mind, something you want to know, something you're not sure about, like, now's the time to speak up or submit a ticket and give us a recommendation or suggestion, because we'll listen. Like, that's what we're here to do right now, is to build this out for you guys, all of you who have supported us and all of you who are just getting to know us. We're not your normal software company. We're going to actually listen to our customers and get you the product that you want. So.
Yep. Okay, that looks like all the questions. So,
all right.
Well, thanks you guys for coming for the first time this week. Like I said, we threw it together last minute. You can tell we're pretty informal. We're not going to shy away from any questions. You can test things. You can do whatever give it a try. If you like it, great. If not, there's no skin off our back. We're not going to hold a grudge. Just how it is what it is, in my opinion. So.
All right, cool. Well, yeah, thank you everybody for coming in tonight. A replay will be up. We'll get that out there so that others can see it. And again, if anything comes across your mind, head over to that contact page, submit a ticket, and Rob and I will get back to you as soon as you can. We appreciate your patience because at this point in time, it's us. We don't have a big team. We're still building, we're not quite ground floor. The building's built now. Now it's going to be inviting and getting everybody here and building a community. So thank you all for being that start to the community. We really appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you guys later.
Have a good night.